And so we are glad to have with us Dulce Garcia from Border Angels today. And Dulce grew up in Logan Heights, a community that is predominantly Mexican and Mexican-American. Dulce is undocumented and found it impossible to find financial aid after high school, so she attended San Diego City College at night and on Saturdays and worked as a paralegal in a law office during the day. Often, she held other jobs, including waitressing, parking cars, tutoring, selling flowers, and retail. She paid her way through school and subsequently transferred to UCSD, where she received her bachelor's degree in political science. She then attended law school at Cleveland Marshall College of Law, where she received her JD with a concentration in civil litigation. Dulce opened her private practice in 2016 and provided in the first year of practice over 100 free consultations and over 20 Know Your Rights workshops to inform the community members of their rights. And as you know, there are people who don't even want others to know their legal rights in this country. She also volunteers to represent low-income clients in court in collaboration with the Mexican consulate and various nonprofit organizations. And in 2017, Dulce and other DACA recipients formed San Diego Border Dreamers to advocate for more humane immigration laws and policies. And Dulce is one of the named plaintiffs in a lawsuit against the current administration filed after the termination of DACA. As a result of those effects in court, thousands of DACA recipients are now able to renew their DACA status while the case is in litigation. Dulce serves on the board of directors at Border Angels and the Interim executive director of Border Angels, a nonprofit that does great humanitarian work and about which you will soon learn. Friends, will you please join me in welcoming to the UCC pulpit, Dulce Garcia. Welcome. I don't think anyone's ever gotten a standing ovation before they've spoken. So this is UCC history. Glad you're here.
Thank you. I'm very glad I'm here, too. It's already been an emotional service, so thank you. Last night, as I was sitting down finalizing what would be my remarks that ended up in a trash can, I was reflecting on my half day at the desert. We spent half a day yesterday at the desert. And for some reason, I kept focusing on the fact that we had seen some water gallons that had been shot at. They were used as targets. And I kept thinking of Albino Galvez's family, who I had just spent the last week and a half with, because his family was here from Mexico this last week to identify his body. 18 years old, died here in a desert. He was flown over by Border Patrol in a helicopter to one of our hospitals here in San Diego about 2 weeks ago, and then he passed away in the hospital. So his family from Mexico, a very humbled village in Mexico, had to come here and identify his body, and I was there, and I saw what the desert did to his body. He died from dehydration. And so as I was sitting thinking about what I would say to you today, the images of Albino's face and the gallons that had been slashed and shot at and used as target came to mind. And as I was sitting, I kept receiving notices of the mass shooting. And so all of this was a reminder of how much our community is hurting. And it just became overwhelming. And as I sit here and I see all the beautiful images that you have projected and the songs and the love that you have already shown this morning, I have no doubt that love will win. Because for every one of those people that were at the desert shooting at those gallons, there were about 25 of us there yesterday. So I have every hope that love will win. And I think that's another one of the miracles that we will be seeing. But I think that's one of the miracles that is not for Jesus. I think that is one for us here. We must perform this miracle of love, this infinite, borderless love, Love towards our neighbors, no matter what religion they practice, no matter what language they speak, no matter the color of their skin, or what papers they may or may not have. As it was mentioned, I have no papers showing U.S. citizenship today. I'm still undocumented. I came here in 1987. And although I'm a property owner, business owner, job creator, still there's no path to citizenship for me or my family or 11 million undocumented folks here in the U.S. I grew up here in California during the Prop 187 era, when I was being told as a child sitting in a desk that I didn't belong here, that I didn't have the right to education. Fortunately, the Supreme Court got it right, and they said that every single child has the right to education. My own high school counselor told me that I wasn't going to be able to do anything, that because I was an illegal immigrant, actually he said an illegal alien, that I wasn't going to even go to community college. But boy, was he wrong, right? We try to practice this miracle of love at Border Angels constantly, and we do so by dropping water at the desert. We do so by helping people at our shelters in Tijuana as well, because we believe that this is not a right issue or a left issue. This is a humanitarian aid issue. When people are knocking at our doors, the most vulnerable people are knocking at our doors, will you offer water or food or respite, shelter? Would you deny hope? Or will you perform this miracle of love? This miracle of love is one that we can perform every single day, and you can do this by changing the language that we use when speaking about others. Please stop calling me an illegal alien, an illegal immigrant. This isn't just about sticks and stones. This is about hateful rhetoric that leads to action, that leads to hateful crimes. And that's why those words that are grounded in hate end up empowering mass shootings. There is power in God's word, and there is power in our words. Your word carries power to heal and to unite and for love. We saw at the desert those gallons that had been shot at. And we hope that one day we don't have to be at the desert dropping water. But we're only going to do that if we all agree that we're in this world to do God's work, no matter where we come from or where we're headed in our lives. We hope that no one, like Albino, who is only 18 years old, dies attempting to cross the desert. With this first miracle that we learned of today, we're called upon to believe in Jesus and obey him and help him in this world. We all have a role to play. And as we speak right now, Albino's family is engaging in a ceremony to say goodbye to him. I hope he's the last one that we say goodbye. Thank you.